Wow. You're on time today.
Good morning, Gino.
Good morning, Jack.
Thursday, May 21st, Marketing News. Welcome to the Breaking and Entering Show. Marketing News Talk Show. Everything you need to know all day, every day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I'm Jack. This is Gino. Gino, how you doing?
Feeling good, Jack. Ready for the last show of the week. What are we doing today?
Well, on today's show, Street Easy is getting New Yorkers reservations in 2046. David Beckham, hottest man alive, can't stop doing commercials for the FIFA World Cup. We talk with one of the masterminds behind the Wienie 500, which is happening again this weekend. A very award-winning activation by Oscar Mayer. The group creative director for Coinbase is joining the show to talk about their new spot airing during the NBA playoffs. And then one of the funniest people in advertising, Eric Kallman, he's in his bag right now, Gino. Eric and Kallman, the agency, is on a heater with some of the funny, very much reminds you of, may I say, the glory days of comedic advertising. Bringing it back, Eric.
Yeah, bring me back to the early 2000s, the 2010s, Jack. It's good stuff to see. So
bury me in the 2010s, you know what I'm saying? Know what I'm saying?
Best.
Your thoughts on the show today? We're covering a lot of different areas. You got Street Easy, very New York centric. You got Coinbase, fintech. You got Eric and Kallman. They're working on Buzzballs and Taylor Farms. So
I'm jacked up. The Wienie 500 is tomorrow, Jack, 2 p.m. Eastern time. I'm going to be tuning in. I'm going to put some money down on this.
Yeah, I have a question for you. Do people realize how big of a deal the first Wienie 500 was?
Yes.
Because it won like every award.
Oh, yeah.
It won so many awards.
And they're bringing it back, and I can't wait.
The Wienermobile is what we're talking about. They had the Wienermobiles race.
6 of them.
Oscar Mayer and I believe Johannes Leonardo is the agency behind that. Were they the agency this year? We'll have to ask Kelsey Rice.
We're going to have to ask.
Who is working on the brand side at Oscar Mayer to walk us through all of that.
I mean, it's the Wienie 500. It's the biggest sporting event of the year.
Exactly.
This is my Super Bowl.
Breaking news as well, Joey Chestnut will be in the hot dog eating contest this year, despite his misdemeanor charges. He pled guilty to misdemeanor charges for an altercation. I can't stop.
For an altercation.
An altercation. Joey Chestnut, the most decorated weenie eater of all time.
Yes.
Is going to be in the hot dog eating contest.
What
4th
was
of
the
July.
misdemeanor for? Was he attacking somebody that put ketchup on a hot dog?
That's good. That was good.
That's not bad.
Can I get a laugh track?
We don't have that. That's not worthy. Hopefully it wasn't like a controversial.
No, it was. I think you just got it. I just read the headline from Adam Schefter, who of course is reporting on that, and it just said that he got into a physical altercation, probably like a bar fight. Is what it sounds.
That's what you want from your hot dog eating champion.
A little bit of feisty.
That's Americana.
Yeah, and one year, do you remember when there was a protester up on stage and he like RKO'd him?
Yeah.
So he's got some clearly. No, in the heat of battle, he's not one to shy away from a physical altercation.
He is a competitor, Jack, in all aspects of his life.
That's right. Well, with that, let's get into the 2-minute drill, another timed event like the hot dog eating contest. It's the world famous 2-minute drill, biggest stories of the day. Shout out to Rothmans, by the way. Let's get into it. Street Easy, Gino.
Yes, Jack. And the New York reservation scene is getting outrageous, but with Street Easy, you can make your reservation for 2046.
Oh, here we go.
There's our intro.
Just in case you missed it, so good.
So you can make a reservation for 2046 at places like Clinton Street Baking, Film Forum, the Guggenheim, Roberta's Pizza, Russ and Daughters, and Books and Magic. Why are they doing this, Jack?
Well, it's simple, Gino. There's nothing that's harder in New York than getting a reservation, and they know this. And so they're kind of making the point, because Street Easy is saying like, long live New York, never be a former New Yorker, get people to stay in New York forever. It's become sort of this thing that you want to stay in New York. How do we get people to stay in New York? You gotta book a reservation. You gotta book a reservation 20 years in advance, done by agency Mother.
That's right, Jack. Mother's been crushing it. It kind of speaks to me personally, because we moved to New York right when this campaign first started, never become a former New Yorker. So I feel like I'm growing with the campaign.
Nice.
And there are those struggles of living in New York and like the ups and downs of it. So I'm very emotionally resonant to this campaign specifically.
Good word, resonant. I think that they do a good job of not, we talked yesterday with the Priceline VP of marketing about keeping your core, but not losing future audience people. To me, it reminds me with this, New York is so fascinating because there's people that are diehard New Yorkers that have been here forever that hate when new people come in. But I feel like this campaign speaks to both of those crowds by something that is mutually annoying, which is getting a reservation and getting people to stay in New York.
And they have a great list of like institutions in New York. It kind of speaks to the local businesses too, that they're going to be around for 20 years longer too. That support to it, I like that too. That's a nice play.
It's probably one of the best and only good insights and ads around the idea of not being able to get a reservation anywhere.
That's right, Jack. Next up here, if you're heading to the Hamptons for your elaborate, expensive parties at the Surf Lodge specifically, Popeyes will see you there, Jack. Let's break this one down.
Surf is nothing sacred. We have got Popeyes now is going to be the chicken tendy sponsor for Surf Lodge. Because when you go to Surf Lodge, of course, I've never been, but I can imagine.
There's no way you've been to the Surf Lodge.
No chance. I haven't gotten the invite from anyone yet. But when you go, everyone's like, yeah, I get the chicken tenders. It makes its way through social. You're drinking all day. You're at the Surf Lodge, and you're like, oh, chicken tenders, it's so good.
Can we back up?
Yeah.
What is the Surf Lodge for those that might not know?
It's just
It's like a venue, like in the Hamptons, like that all the cool people, all the influencers, celebs, the celebs' children, political children go to.
Yeah, there's so many examples like this. Every big lake house that you go to with your friends, any sort of like classic beachside bar that becomes institutionalized and becomes over-indexed with influencers
But this one especially.
This one is like
this is the one
Yeah.
in the United States.
100%. It's the one that everyone knows, even if I've never been there and I still know what Surf Lodge is.
Yeah.
It's got that aura, but it's become influencerized and commercialized now with Popeyes being the chicken tendy sponsor.
I like this play. It's a high-low play. You got the high class, you got the lower brand play here.
Sure.
It's a nice combo there. And they're doing, so they got the chicken tender tower, they got custom merch, of course, and then they have a marquee weekend event, a takeover of some sort that I'm not sure what that entails or when that is, but you can bet your bottom dollar breaking and entering will be there.
I don't like it. I don't like it. The Popeyesification.
You gotta like this. This is what you do. You're an advertising and marketing person.
At some point, you have to like. The other thing is Surf Lodge. The prices are so insane. I wonder if they're going to charge Surf Lodge prices for the new Popeyes.
It's like the airport effect.
It is the airport effect. Live ramp fallout. Every time I see this, I think liver amp. It's live ramp fallout. So we know that Publicis bought live ramp. Live ramp is this clean data room way that all these big holding companies are able to share data without giving away personal information and use it for advertising and publishing. But with Publicis buying LiveRamp was considered the Switzerland, so to speak, of this third party. It wasn't controlled by anyone, so they could make sure that the data was clean, it was aligned, and it wasn't biased or partisan to any one of the parties. Now that Publicis owns it, they're insisting instead that nothing's going to change. You'll be able to do what you need to do, but the holding companies are not necessarily agreeing. I believe Horizon Media is kind of the first to put out a public statement that says we're reevaluating our partnership with LiveRamp after the Publicis acquisition.
I've heard that statement a few times in my personal life, Jack. But reevaluating the relationship. It makes sense to me, Jack. If Publicis own this, you're an Omnicom, you're a Horizon Media, you're a competitor. You don't want to be in their data, their sandbox, if you will. I've heard that said a couple times here.
Sandbox.
Yeah, their sandbox.
Speaking of sandbox, speaking of Surf Lodge, what we just talked about, shout out Assistants versus Agents. Looks like Warner Bailey's in the chat right now. He said, I've lost my credit card 100 times at Surf Lodge, Gino.
That shows the difference over there from Assistants versus Agents and breaking and entering.
That's right.
He's going to Surf Lodge.
That's Hollywood. That's Hollywood life.
That's Hollywood
anything else on LiveRamp? It's kind of like boring and lame, but I feel like it's important if you work at a holding company.
The takeaway or what to watch now is what the other holding companies and media companies, where are they going to go? LiveRamp, not the place to be anymore. It's competitor owned. It's not neutral. It is tainted, if you will.
Yeah, of course. It's got a little bit
So
of
what are they going to do?
it.
They're going to build some brands. They're not starting at zero. WPP acquired InfoSum. I don't know what that is. Denso has Merkle. I don't know what that is.
There's other options,
Yes.
or something's going to pop up, or they're going to find a new solution, or they're just going to build it in-house. David Beckham is everywhere, Gino. This has been, before the World Cup has even started, we've already now seen him across 4 major ad campaigns with the Home Depot, Adidas, Lay's, and Stella Artois, and it's one of those phenomenons, like celebrities are everywhere in commercials, and if you've got one celebrity that's everywhere, it's like he's nowhere, right? Because the value proposition diminishes when there's no exclusivity.
Right, Jack. We have an expert to call in about a celebrity talent partnership. Stacey Gersten, co-founder of Main Character, said she would answer the phone. I'm going to start calling her right now. I'm going to ask her some questions in this next minute.
So she is an expert in getting talent and celebrities, and she's live right now.
Yes.
You're live to tape.
Stacey, we're talking about David Beckham all over the place here. Can you tell us, how does somebody get to be in all these ads? How much is this guy making?
Okay, well, David Beckham, yes, he is everywhere right now. It's basically the perfect storm because of World Cup specifically, because we're in the United States. He's a global football icon who actually has American mainstream celebrity. And something so special about Beckham is that he's luxury, but has this approachable appeal that is exciting for Gen X, millennials, and even into like the older Gen Z. So like he's somebody who resonates really with everyone right now. And they're doing a great job showing up everywhere.
But Stacey, like for all these, I just kind of said like, he's in every ad campaign, so the value of having him attached to the brand feels like it might lose that luster. Or is it just a coincidence that all these brands kind of are all thinking David Beckham for their campaigns?
I mean, they're all thinking David Beckham because they're looking at the data and they're looking at the art of storytelling, so he just makes sense. I mean, the exposure is great for the David Beckham brand, but personally, I think all the brand partners start to blend together and the endorsements start to feel less personal when there's so many of them.
Stacey, fantastic. That was amazing.
Stacey Gersten, co-founder of Main Character, thank you so much.
That was Stacey. Great. That was a live call-in. She did a great job. That's David Beckham talk. Last thing we're going to talk about is PetSmart, creative review. So PetSmart, the incumbent here is Deutsch, and it's about 100 mil plus in media spending by PetSmart, so not nothing in terms of an account, and it's up for grabs, Gino.
Yep, and the media too is up for grabs, Jack. Did you say that?
I don't know if I said that. Okay. But thank you for catching me on that.
Media is also up for review, and Power Media is the incumbent. And remember, ladies and gentlemen, if it's up for review, the incumbent can still opt in for that agency review. Like they can still fight for it and get it back. We saw that a couple times with the Carb brand. Remind me what Carb brand? Kramer Krasel and Porsche.
Yeah, Porsche. They every 5 or 6 years it was under review, and then they would win it back.
They win it back. Sometimes it can be procurement led. Let's just look at the finances here. Yeah. We have to see if we get a better deal or what the thing is. Like just look out there. It's mandated sometimes. So I don't know exactly the details.
They've got a consultant. They've got a consultant running the review. Ooh. So it feels like it's going to be kind of it's a legit. Okay. Going to be competitive is usually what that means, right?
Yeah.
If you're bringing in a search consultant to find an agency, that to me triggers competitive. There's going to be a legitimate process. We're going to see who's going to come out to win this. But PetSmart, thoughts on PetSmart as a brand?
PetSmart, I love the old logo.
Is there a new logo?
I think they did a new version of it. The old logo with the dog and the cat and it overlapped there. It was so fun. Yeah, is that the new one? Let's show the old logo. It's the best logo. I don't have any pets, Jack, but it's a well-known, family-established brand here.
Yeah, tons of heritage.
How are they going to get to e-commerce? Because that seems to be where they need to go.
It is. You gotta get there because there's even in our apartment building, what's it called? It's like Blue Heron. Blue, yeah. Chewy is another one, but like pet food is what I'm thinking of. But PetSmart kind of offers more than that. So they've got the heritage. They've got like the brand name recognition. They've just got to get up to speed with the times. Am I right or am I right?
I'm going back to the old logo. I don't know. Maybe I'm thinking about the old.
Yeah,
maybe I'm thinking of a different brand. The dog and you know what I'm talking about?
Well, our guy Paul brings up a good point. Is it PetSmart or is it PetSmart? That's Paul in the chat right now. PetSmart or PetSmart?
Paul, that's a great question.
That could be a campaign right there.
Yeah. And you can go in there and buy like a lizard.
Like what if you had a commercial that was like showing the two sides? It's a PetSmart. It shows you all the different options, all the things you can choose from, but it's also PetSmart. Look at this dog. Look how smart this dog is. This dog is doing Jeopardy. Look at this dog doing Jeopardy. Look at how smart this dog is.
That would have to be a husky. Those are the smartest dogs.
And then Bert 10 is in the YouTube chat right now. He said the way Jack said Porsche, it reminds me of Joey from Friends. That's a reference. I'm not a big Friends guy, but that feels like a legitimate
That's a good reference.
Yeah, Porsche.
Cleaning up my frame here.
All right, that was a 2-minute drill. Gino, before we get into the rest of the show and preview the guests that are joining, which are fantastic guests, We got to give a shout out to Rothmans. Rothmans is goated. Look at the headline. Really, that's all you need to know. I wrote this copy for this ad read. I'm going to read it, but just know that I actually wrote it. It's not AI. They didn't give me this. I wrote this myself. Are you ready?
I'm ready, Jack.
Shout out to Rothmans. Rothmans is a fourth-generation, family-owned, independent menswear store celebrating 100 years in New York City. They have a pretty great tagline for the ad sickos out there. 100 years of taking New Yorkers as they are and dressing them better. My favorite thing about Rothmans, Gino, is that they emphasize the in-store experience. You got to go in. You got to be in there. They take care of you. They're like your suit guy. We went in there. It was awesome because I have no clue how I want to dress. You have no clue how you want to dress.
No.
And then you leave feeling like, okay, I feel good. I am excited. I'm confident now. They're stylists, not salespeople. It's not just formal wear either, Gino, for date night. If you do that, or summer outfits, you're going to Cannes maybe. Cannes, it requires that sort of range. They cover it all. Go check them out in one of their NYC area locations. I prefer the Union Square flagship store. And mention breaking and entering when you're there for 10% off. And if you have to order online, use code BREAKING10 at checkout. That's code BREAKING10. I know our guy Matt Van Hoven, co-founder of Raven PR, has already purchased his own shirt. Be like Matt. Order online if you have to, Breaking 10, or go in the store.
You got a cool like uncle or aunt like that you like when you were younger you were excited to go over there for the holidays?
100%.
That's how I felt like when I went in there. Like it was just like family, you're sitting around, you're hanging out, having a conversation. These guys will take care of you too while you're there. That's what it reminded me of. Like I was so excited to go hang out with my cousins, my cool uncles and aunts.
Yeah,
like,
take notes. Take notes, brands, on the in-store experience because it matters. And thank you to Rothmans. They believe in this, and it's the reason we're able to keep doing the live show. So shout out to Rothmans. And let's talk about the rest of the show. Gino, let's preview our guests while we're here.
That's right, Jack. Let's preview the guests.
Okay, let's preview the
We're going to
guests.
talk to Kelsey Rice, Brand Communications Director at Oscar Mayer on the Wienie 500. Then Jean Morrow, who's the Group Creative Director at Coinbase, to talk about their latest spot. Leland Grossman and Sarah Davis are joining as well to talk about Fashionphile's latest campaign. And one of the best comedic advertisers of all time, Eric Coleman, will round out the show. But for our first segment, Jack, last year, it was a summer sensation. Tomorrow, it's high-stakes battle for their history books on the legendary asphalt of the Brickyard. 85,000 fans in the stands, millions streaming live, and a legendary 6 Wienermobiles are stepping up the horsepower for the second annual Wienie 500. And listen, Jack, they're all going for blood. Ketchup blood. In this one here. From the Midwest muscle of the Shy Dog to the aggressive new look of the fan-voted wild card, Corn Dog. These are mobiles that are racing in the Indianapolis runway here. And that's all tomorrow. We're going to talk with the brand director now. Bring her in, Kelsey Rice.
She's not here yet, Gino.
Listen, who do you got?
You jumped the gun.
I jumped the gun
there, Gino.
Rothmans
Rothmans. Kelsey Rice is about to join, that's for sure. If she is ready, let's bring her in. Kelsey Rice, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Good. How are you? Thanks for having me.
Well,
Big day tomorrow for you all. How are you feeling so far?
Huge day, a brilliant day for sure. We're really excited. We've been at the track all week. The team's been practicing. It's going to be a great day tomorrow, Carb Day.
So, Kelsey, I want to ask you first and foremost, the role. What's your role in all of this, as well as just broadly at Oscar Mayer?
Yeah. I lead brand communications for Oscar Mayer. I get the lucky job of working with an amazing team of internal agency partners. Any communication about Oscar Mayer comes through our team, including the amazing Wienermobile program and team. And my role on the ground is to make sure we're running smooth and having a good time.
Oh, it's amazing. Well, we're excited about the Wienie 500, especially after the success last year. I mean, was the team surprised at like how well it went? Because it's an amazing idea, but you never know if it's actually going to pop. But it felt like this is one of those things that people, I mean, at least in the ad and marketing community, still really bring up.
Yeah, we knew that this idea had the ability to travel and go far and wide. But to your point, you kind of never know when it's a big idea like this, it could maybe not go as well. We were amazed, shocked, so happy that we were able to travel. I mean, this thing in the stands, we had more viewers than Super Bowl. 80,000 plus, which is incredible. But shockingly, over 8 million tuned in to watch it live. And then the chatter after was just phenomenal.
And
I think what I'm most proud of is like we actually moved product. We sold more hot dogs last year than we did the previous year, and it had our best Memorial Day weekend in 4 years, which is awesome.
it's incredible here. I want to back things up and see if you can speak on this. The original idea, was this briefed to an ad agency? I believe it was like Johannes Leonardo that helped ideate or execute this last year. What was the brief last year? Like, did you go, we want to do like an IRL experience and also that would do well on social? Like, could you give us some insight on how this came to be?
Yeah, happy to. So yes, this idea came to us from Johannes Leonardo, or JM. This idea happened through what we call a collaborativity session. So where we bring all our agency partners together, we give them a one-page brief. This brief was, how do we cement this brand and culture, start the new chapter, especially looking at summer because it's a really important season for us as a brand. What could we do to get people talking about us and sort of relishing Oscar Mayer in the ways they have in the past? And this was one that came to the top, and we put it all together in 4 months, which is remarkable.
4 months, own the summer with a great event. It's grilling season. It makes sense to me.
I am just dying laughing at this image of these Wienermobiles just flying down. We've been inside the Wienermobile. I don't know if you know this, Kelsey. We actually have had the chance to be inside with the crew, and it's one of the more fulfilling moments of my life to be inside the belly of the beast, so to speak. But for you all, it's up there with the Goodyear blimp. It's up there with like some of those major things, but I'm always curious to ask about, you want to use it, but you don't want to overuse it. You don't want to like oversaturate people and annoy people with it. So you got to find the balance. Is that something that's a struggle for the brand, or is it more so like, we're it's rich people problems kind of thing?
Well, I think firstly, did you get a wiener whistle?
Oh,
Yes.
of course.
From a hot dogger, which is a very special experience that you have had, which I hope you have yours. It's a great question. We do talk about that a lot as a team, of just making sure we're not overusing this amazing asset. But at the end of the day, we have not reached that limit. The Wienermobiles have such power. We talk about it from a brand perspective of they are disarmingly delightful. Disarming in the sense that, like, when you see it, there's nothing like it, and delightful in that you can't not smile when you see it. So there is such magic whenever we infuse them in what we do, and they really are a living, breathing example of the brand's purpose, which is to spark smiles.
And
I got so many questions, Jack. Can we talk about the race?
We can talk about the race, but I actually wanted to ask to like follow up on that. You said that like last year you pushed product. Like, you wouldn't be doing this again if it didn't work on the business side. It wouldn't make sense. So like, explain that. How do we get from people watching these wieners fly down the raceway, getting them just talk about that customer journey and how you guys are even like tracking that? Because I think a lot of brand marketers want to do cool, fun things, but it sometimes might be difficult to track and measure all that. So it might be a nerdy question, but I'd love to just hear your perspective from a thing that actually worked in getting more people to buy Oscar Mayer wieners.
Yeah, it was magical, is magical. The thing that works so well about this brand is we talk about, we like to act as an entertainer versus an advertiser. And when you look across the history of this brand, decades of amazing advertising, these whistles were the first as like branded swag giveaways. The jingles played across televisions for decades, the Wienermobiles themselves, all of that has product at the heart. But you don't feel like you are being sold an ad or that you need to go buy this thing. It's the experience that really brings you in. And we've been able to preserve that. So we really held on to that, especially for this event. How do we make people welcome them into the world of the Wienermobile, especially where we're full of puns? I'm sure you heard them when you saw the vehicle in October. The announcers absolutely killed it last year. And there is just this inherent entertainment value that makes people crave the products at the end of the experience, which is amazing. And we just track sales data post-event, and we're really close on that. And we're really delighted when we found that as that we actually did this product.
So entertainment can work, and it might not work in the same way for every brand, because I think Oscar Mayer just has done a good job of like this is actually entertaining, and sometimes brands might force it for the sake of just trying to be entertaining, and it just doesn't work. But obviously you lean into the things that are great about the brand. Clearly there's entertainment for Oscar Mayer. Gino.
I'm enthralled here. I'm entertained, but I want to know what improvements has Slaw Dog made since winning last year to prep for this year.
That's a great question. The teams all have strategies. Slaw's really focused on remaining on top, which there's some funness there if you think through like the actual setup of the hot dog. A Slaw dog is a hot dog, chili, and then slaw on top. So they want to maintain that, but also they want to be in first place again. So their strategy is to, I think that they're talking about making sure they make smooth left turns and stay focused on being on top. And so we'll see what unfolds on the track tomorrow.
Yeah, we got in the chat, our Patrick here is in the YouTube chat, and he asked if applications are open for drivers. Do we have, how is that process? How do you decide who drives the Wienermobile at the race?
At the race?
At the race.
Or in general?
At the race. We can talk about the general too, because that's fascinating as well, but at the race itself.
So answers the same for both. So in general, the hot dog program has been around since 1988, a phenomenal program, and every year we hire a class of 12 to drive these vehicles around. 2 folks driving each of the vehicles. We have 6 Wienermobiles, excuse me. And it's a pretty rigorous process. We actually have looked at the data, and more people have gone to the moon than have driven a Wienermobile, which is phenomenal. We have thousands of applicants every year, and we train them all each summer in 2 weeks in June at Hot Dog High, where they're in an intensive program about media training, food styling, experiential training, social media, because they also are content creators on our Wienermobile social page. And then they get intensive training by really focused folks on how do you drive this thing? Imagine driving a 27-foot long hot dog across the country, aka the hot dog highways. So that's how we find them and who they are. And then the sort of jewel on top is this is now the end of their tour. So this class will graduate and finish their tour the first week of June, and this is their last big event for Oscar Mayer.
Wow. Yeah. I mean, look at the crowd. We're watching it right now, and the crowd just going wild as they cross the finish line.
I'm assuming, though, like, are these have to be different drivers for this race? Like, these have to be professional. Is that correct?
Or is it autonomous?
They're the same hot doggers that drive the vehicles all year round are in the seats for the Wienie 500.
Wow.
I would sign up just for this.
Hand-eye coordination now is a big part of the application to be a driver in general. And when I was in school, this was a very highly sought-after position. It's very hard to get.
We know someone. Tyler was the Wienermobile. Our friend.
It's like hard to get. I was like
Tyler from yesterday. We keep bringing up Tyler.
I for sure applied.
Yes, I think everyone. Of course,
good that you didn't, because I'm not very athletic. Yeah.
Phil took this that we could get this interview. Then you don't have any hard feelings.
No.
No. Of course not.
No.
I
still love the product.
Kelsey, the people want to know, who are you rooting for in the race?
Oh man, I knew this question would come up. It's so hard to have a favorite. But I live in Chicago. I love a Chicago dog, so that's probably who I'm rooting for. But at the end of the day, I just want to make sure we have a great race, and I'm excited to see how Corn Dog does. I don't know if you guys saw that.
Fan voted.
We have a new racer. Oh, did you vote? You voted for Corn Dog?
No, I did not. I did not vote for Corn Dog. I'm Team Shy Dog as well, Kelsey, being from Chicago. So I'm really hoping.
I mean, it's fantastic. So are you going to be boots on the ground at the race?
I'm coming to you live from Indianapolis Motor Speedway right now. I've been here all week.
Oh, great. And
you see the race? Yeah, the racetrack.
And then my question for you, a real question, believe it or not, the social strategy. I mean, I think it's really top of mind for a lot of people right now of your social strategy at a live event. You saw, like, I think after the Artemis II space shuttle thing, there was something like they posted 5,000 times over the course of a week from it. What's the social strategy? Can we expect 5,000 pieces of assets from the Wienie 500?
I hope after the race, for sure, that this thing continues to go viral. That's my buns are crossed. But the strategy this week is we are putting out a lot of amazing content. We're on the ground. We've been capturing stuff. We're partnering with Indy Motor Speedway. Fox is posting content as well. So we do have quite a bit of content going out. The idea is we want to get people just as excited they were last year when they saw the race, but build the anticipation and the hype for this year's race.
Yes, I think that's probably the difference, right? Is people like
They know about it this year. So my last question is, how are you planning to make it bigger than last year?
Yes, this is a big brief for this year. We, because the year two of an event is tricky. We're really cementing this thing in culture, so we want to do it right. I'm really proud of what we've brought to the table. So this year, the biggest pieces are it's broadcast live on Fox. So if you tune in to your TV, it says Wienie 500.
It's wild. It's wild.
And on top of that, we partnered with pro IndyCar drivers. So we trained with them in January. We had our team run with them, get lessons, tips, and we'll have some viewing the race and coaching from the sidelines, which is a big element. You probably saw that if you watch some of our content come to life. And then thirdly, there's lots of amazing other pieces, but I want to keep this tight. The biggest pieces, we've also added a commander in beef. I'm not sure if you saw, but Andy Richter will be with us on the ground as our first official commander in beef. He'll be leading a lot of the fun ceremonial stuff that you saw last year, like singing the anthem, telling us to get that race going, and lots of other things that will hopefully get the fans excited.
That's great. Yeah, it's well, we're excited for it. It's a blessing and a curse to have something that does really well, because it just means that next year you have to do it again, but better.
Pressure is a privilege.
Pressure is a privilege. But Kelsey, thank you so much for joining. Appreciate you taking the time, and we'll be watching.
We'll be tuning in, cheering for Shy Dog.
Okay, good. I'll let that team know. Thank you so much for the time.
Thanks, Kelsey.
Perfect.
Thank you.
That was Kelsey Rice, Brand Communications Director at Oscar Mayer, ahead of
They're good.
the most anticipated food driving race in the history of mankind.
I'm going to say the race. Most anticipated race.
Oh, period.
For me.
For you.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
Listen, unlike you, I like brand activations.
Here we go.
When you were talking crap about the Surf Lodge and Popeyes, I enjoy that stuff.
Well, you're an idiot.
No, I'm not.
You're a stupid idiot, and everyone knows it. Everyone's saying it behind your back. I swear.
Everyone's saying that. Everybody that's tuning in likes advertising and marketing.
Popeyes chicken at Surf Lodge. If you eat you are such a normie nerd loser if you're eating the Popeyes chicken at Surf Lodge.
I'm eating the Popeyes chicken. You're just mad because you couldn't get into the Surf Lodge.
Yeah, come on. I was wearing shorts. They wouldn't let you in if you were wearing shorts.
Can't wear shorts.
You can't wear shorts. They're like, get to the back of the line, you loser.
Yeah.
Wienermobile merch would go hard, is what Bert_10 just said in the YouTube chat. YouTube chat is popping off. Appreciate everyone who's watching live right now. Really means a lot. But thoughts on Wienermobile merch? I think Patrick was in the chat earlier, and he said a great shirt would be, I watched the Wieners at Indianapolis.
That's great. That's good.
T-shirt.
Honestly, I think they built fandom around the whole race now. Now the next strategy is build fandom for each car in your region.
Yes, exactly.
There should be shit talking.
This is my take on the WNBA. Mm-hmm. This is they've done such a great job of getting people to care
about the league.
Get the league, and it was obviously well deserved. They had so much built up momentum, and they finally just had the resources to get out there and market the league.
Yep.
In the WNBA, now you're getting people to go for individual teams. Somehow I connected that to the Oscar Mayer Wienermobile race, Gino.
I'll take it, Jack. You want to kick off our next Hall of Fame guest?
Next Hall of Fame guest is Jean Morrow. Jean Morrow is the Group Creative Director at Coinbase. We've spoken with Kat Ferdin on this show before. We've spoken with Gareth Kay. We've spoken with Joe Staples, who run brand and creative for Coinbase. Now we're here to talk with Jean, who was a major part of their most recent ad, a part of a longer campaign, Gino, Your Way Out of Their System. Your thoughts on this ad?
Can we show it?
Yes, we'll show the ad. It's debuted, I believe, already. It's in the NBA playoffs. Let's watch it right now, and then we'll talk to Jean, who made it.
If I can hear it.
Can't hear it, but I'll just narrate it. There's music playing. There's a narrator going.
Yeah, I feel like the narration's key.
Super key. We can run it back. We can play it again if the guys figure it out. But you see, it's very good. The sound really makes a difference. I will say.
Yep.
But it's great for TV. You're watching on TV. most people watch social media videos with the
I
sound
can tell
on.
what's going on just by watching it.
You're kind of seeing the same thing over and over, right? You're seeing it, but you don't realize it unless you pay attention. But the narration does a good job of saying like, you keep over and over and over and over your way out of their system. Coinbase. Boom, we're back now. We're gonna bring in Jean to talk about it. If you want to hear it with the sound, go ahead and just watch it separately. But we'll talk about Coinbase's new ad with Jean Morrow right now. Jean, how's it going?
Hi, nice to meet you guys. Thanks for having me.
This is going to be awesome, Jean. Thanks so much for taking the time. You guys are crushing it. We're big fans of this ad here, so we want to break it down, how this came to life, some things along the way, and where Coinbase is heading. How does that sound?
That sounds awesome. And I loved your sort of dramatic interpretation reading of it paired with no sound. So that was great to watch also.
Well, it's a good way of, you have to prepare for those situations. Like if someone, maybe the TV's muted at the bar, and you want to be able to still see it. I think I did my part. But where do you want to begin? Because Jean, I'm interested in talking about this ad in particular to start, because I think it's super unique and interesting. How did we get to this idea? Because it was done in-house, correct?
Ooh.
Yes, it was. It was done by our Coinbase creative studio. And it's interesting. So I can give a little context about how we got to this ad specifically, because it sort of started back actually with our work during the Oscars, where this brand platform was revealed, your way out of their system. And in that moment, the story was more about getting people to care and to see themselves as having agency and being able to break out of their NPC financial existence and look for a new path and look for a new direction. And then this work is all about showing people how Coinbase products actually give you those new options.
Interesting.
Yeah, because the ad itself has it says like get out of their system, their rules. Who is they in terms of this ad?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think when you think about the traditional financial system, which can be anything from, how you might have approached sending money, or how you might approach the value of money over time. There's so many different spaces and places where for many years, we were all, as you can see in this ad and in the campaign, in these patterns of just accepting. And it didn't feel like there was optionality. And so when I think we talk about it's really the traditional financial system and its limitations. And then you can see Coinbase and the world as it runs on crypto and our product offerings as an opportunity to take back that control as an individual.
Yeah, because even something as simple as like they're closed on the weekends. Like you can only go in from 9 to 5, and something as simple as like cashing a check. I don't know. I do see
I don't do that very often,
but when you do, isn't it like the most annoying thing in the world?
Yeah.
To be like, I'm gonna now go. It's one of the few things that you still have to go in person to do. It's like that, and then me sending back my Stitch Fix box at the USPS for return.
Got it.
And so it's so super interesting way in. And obviously, Coinbase lives in a space that is really like you're representing a larger thing, which is like fintech and crypto, which still like people. It's a lot. It's a big journey to like really get people to understand what you're standing for. And so I want to understand broadly, it feels like Coinbase is on this long-term journey now with a very clear message. And can you talk about how you've gotten to that point? Because I believe you've been at Coinbase for a little bit now, right?
Yeah, definitely. Just to speak to the Coinbase piece of that, this year is interesting because we're in transition from being the place that you would go to buy and sell crypto, to trade, to really manage your digital assets, to a fulsome financial app where you can do everything related to your financial existence. So I think that transition is really interesting when you talk about what a person was looking to Coinbase to do. It's really expanded recently. And this campaign brings to life some of those new products that are a part of that everything exchange. Over the course of the past few years, it's been such a fun journey because we've gotten the chance to talk about the potential of crypto and what it can do through the work, while bringing many people in who maybe were not comfortable with crypto or didn't know too much about it. And it's your example of, you know, what to do on the weekend with your money. We had a spot about a man who sells a truck and gets paid in crypto. And if you've ever tried to like buy a car on the weekend, it's sort of impossible. And so there's so many parts of our daily life, so many patterns that we're in that we're not examining. And I think this, this spot and this work starts to sort of uncover those and shine a light on those things that we're in the accepting it because it's happening all the time, and pushing those moments into questioning them and seeing if there might be a better way.
It reminds me of what we talked about yesterday, some of the greatest ads of all time. They ask you to just reconsider. Reconsider what your current daily life or what your decisions are. And it feels like it's a great playbook to run, and it's been done many times before. Think small. Just going to shove that one in there. Think small.
Yeah.
Do you know your thoughts on all of this?
I want to understand what it's like working at Coinbase, if that's allowed.
It's allowed by me. Jean, is it cool if Gino asks about what it's like working at Coinbase?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I love it. Any specific bit or just general
Do you get paid
vibe?
only in crypto for your salary? No, just kidding. I wanted to ask you about so the marketing team versus your group creative director. Like, is there and Joe Staples is there? Like, who's briefing this at this point? And how does the creative team like operate in tandem?
Oh, totally. Well, the good news is that you guys have already spoken to sort of the key players in that game. So I can just talk a little bit about, Kat Ferdin is our CMO, and then Joe Staples, VP of Creative, and Gareth is VP Brand. So, together, those three basically identify and point the ship towards the stories we want to tell and the things we want to, shine our floodlight on. And then the briefing process, it depends, throughout the year, there are different, media moments and stuff like that. But a lot of times the story there really comes from our product strategy and where sort of the product is heading. For example, this year with the Everything Exchange and this unique moment where actually this is our first scaled product marketing campaign, and that comes from those three and their laser sharp strategic vision in combination with wow, like the product's really changing and we get to tell that story. So those sort of kind of come together.
Yeah, it's interesting because of the fact we heard this before in other places. Like you have a story to tell, essentially. Like we heard it with Yahoo. Yahoo's CMO Josh Line talked about this, where for a while it was all about just reconfiguring the business and organizing the business itself so that it's in a point where now there's a story to tell. You have your products in place and now you go out and market that. And so it feels like that's kind of what's happening here. And I think Coinbase is now establishing a voice and separating from the noise of like all the crazy crypto ads of yesteryear, and moving more into this like defining space, which I think must be exciting, right, Jean?
It is super exciting. And I think one of the really fun aspects of it is, crypto is an industry where things change often. So it's never boring. And there's always so many, interesting products and interesting utilities that exist for any one person to use at any time. But our job as marketers often is, how do we talk about those things in a way that's intriguing and interesting to somebody who's watching a basketball game? Because, something like democratizing the world of finance and giving people a chance to take back control of their money, like, I think that's really interesting, but I don't think I can, that's like a very high level thought. It's like, how do we get people to care about that in a moment? How do we get them to be like, hey, wait, why am I accepting the fact that I have to pay to send my own money to my cousin in England? That's nonsensical. So it's really fun to take these super interesting bits of technology and functionality and then figure out a way to translate them to be compelling to somebody who's just not in that headspace, but could really benefit from everything that crypto/Coinbase has to offer.
Yeah, I guess I don't know if you have a thought about this, but because of the fact, and the chat is popping off, of course, but Bert is kind of asking about Coinbase's place. You know, you're essentially calling out the financial institutions and like the way things going. So it's kind of like Coinbase is now trying to step into that role and replacing sort of your traditional financial institution and be like the bank for you all. Do you think that that's like where Coinbase like creatively is trying to go, or are you trying to be something that like you recognize banks exist and they're good, but also Coinbase is something where you can take back some of that control? That might be like a higher level strategic question.
Like the whole business question.
Yeah, maybe it's a question for like, you know,
the CEO.
Brian or something.
Yeah.
I'm sure Brian would be able to answer that so much more elegantly than I can. But I think what I'll say is the possibilities that exist with crypto are so great in this moment. And I do think that Coinbase's everything exchange model takes advantage of that. So while if you rewind a few years ago, the things that you could do, you know, through the crypto rails, you know, through the crypto system were more limited. And now I do believe that you can use, you know, the everything exchange and the possibilities to handle so many more options, to handle so many more elements of your financial life than you could before, that I think you can see it as not just, okay, this is a component and I'll then go to these other platforms to deal with, you know, something like, where do I hold my money?
Mm-hmm.
Well, crypto/Coinbase and the everything exchange now can provide that for you. So what I would say is the possibilities are super expansive, and it definitely is, you know, when you look at this campaign, we're trying to bring to the surface some of those things that you wouldn't have, you know, trading stocks at 10 p.m. That's something that you couldn't do several years ago. And you wouldn't necessarily think, oh, maybe have thought, oh, I want to use crypto as a way to trade stocks. But what it lets you do is do it in a really seamless way whenever you like, not on, you know, business hours or what have you. So I think to answer that question, there's an extreme expansiveness of options of what you can do on Coinbase. And if someone wanted to, say, use it for all of their financial needs, it's going to allow them to do that.
Super interesting. Super interesting. Appreciate it. Jean, thank you for stepping into the Thunderdome
Great
to talk
work.
about it. The new ad is out. You're way out of their system. If you're going to be watching the NBA playoffs, you're going to see this ad. And
now you know the
pumped.
person that helped to make it.
Yeah,
You can tell your
just
friends.
another day in the life. I tell you what, I'm going to show my bias right now. I love the work, and I want to be clear about that.
I love the work, too.
And perhaps it takes away my journalistic integrity, Gino, but I've never been a journalist.
Never had it.
And I never had it to begin with. So just cool stuff. And congrats to the team at Coinbase. Jean, thank you so much for talking about the ad and talking about the strategy behind it.
Thank you so much for having me. And I love this show, so it was so special to me to come on and talk to you both. Thank you.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Jean. Means a lot. That was Jean Morrow. That was the group creative director at Coinbase. And what did you think, Gino, of the ad? And
Listen.
your thoughts?
Listen. It's a perception shift. Coinbase perception, a little tough.
100%.
Like all of crypto, I mean, it's tough.
Yes. They're playing the hard space.
Inch by inch.
I know.
Build the brand,
Yes.
stick with it. They're doing that now. The foundation is there. It's strong. They got the creative chess pieces on the board. They're making the right moves. It's not going to happen overnight, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, I think, you know, what's fun about what we're doing here is we are kind of like following along this journey. And so like Coinbase is a good example of this because we're able to be there, like their first ever like major brand campaign, and we can kind of follow along. You have a question.
I have a big question here.
Let's do it.
Let's do it. Despite all the brand building, which they're crushing so far, there's so many external variables to crypto. Like if people lose their money or something happens, then the whole brand, whether all their work or not, like is at risk. Is that fair?
Yeah, probably.
There's so many external variables.
Yeah, but so is this. You could say the same thing about like the U.S. the currency, the price of the U.S. dollar, the currency exchange, and the banks holding your system. 2008 financial crisis, a lot of banks just collapsed.
Yeah.
So there's always risk involved, but
I guess
the perception of that risk, I agree with you. The perception of the risk of crypto, and it's probably true, it's more volatile, it's not as safe. Perception.
So when I'm thinking about Coinbase, who else should I be comparing the brand to? Because I don't know any other crypto companies.
Exactly.
So I'm thinking now of like a JP Morgan.
I think that's what they want. I think that's what they are competing at this point against the classic financial institutions from my point of view.
Okay.
That's what it feels like. They're not competing against like crypto.com or.
So they're really doing the branding for the whole industry. Like, and I think you mentioned that. All of crypto.
And Jean brought it up a few times, the everything exchange. So being not like, I think crypto is kind of like the main foundation, but all the things that you can do with it being backed by crypto being the bottom layer. And I just.
What else can you do? I have a lot of, debt, of course. Like I have to pay that off every couple years, whenever I feel like it. But other than that, like what can people do? Like
I don't know. You look it up. I don't know.
Oh, just trying to have a conversation, man.
I'm not like, I personally, hand up, like I love the crypto and the Coinbase stuff. I don't use Coinbase. Like
you were in finance. I just wanted to.
I know, but I got out of the game. I got out of the game before all the crypto became mainstream. I was still, I was way back.
Bert says Coinbase has done a much better job than other crypto platforms. Bert_10, I agree as well.
It reminds me of just comparing things we've heard recently. Eli Lilly has done such a better job than every other major pharmaceutical holding brand because Lena Palomeni, who's the CMO, has said they're not trying to make pharma ads.
I had a take that I was supposed to tell you during the 2-minute drill yesterday.
Okay, let's hear
about
it
Wieden. If after breaking entering, when it explodes inevitably,
yes,
I want to become a CMO of a large brand. I'm going to become a CMO of a large brand.
Manifest.
Let's say I'm thinking Lifetime Fitness. I'll be the next CMO of Lifetime Fitness. And I'm going to hire Wieden Kennedy and just relax.
Oh, nice. Just be like, take over the business.
I want the biggest budget.
Because you just want a free gym membership?
I like I like the brand. Whatever it is, I'll become a big CMO one day. And I'm going to hire Wieden Kennedy and take naps and just relax.
Is there anything in particular about like the fitness category that you think?
I think that's interesting. The funnel is so clear to me.
Okay.
Of like, keep memberships as the end goal, retain memberships. Like you can think about the funnel that way.
It's easy to convince someone to get a gym membership.
Yeah. And you got New Year's Eve every year.
And that nobody cancels their gym memberships. I am victim of this.
Well, step one is make it even harder to cancel.
Do you want to make that process? I have a gym membership where they're trying to make me go in person to cancel.
I think they outlawed that. Like,
right,
that should
I thought
be
so
illegal.
too.
Like it should be like a one-click thing.
Yeah, Bert says Gino's the future CMO of Planet Fitness.
Bert, I see that. I see what you're doing.
There's a current CMO that is a friend of the program that you can. Oh no, not Planet Fitness. He's Crunch.
Crunch Fitness. Yes.
Chad.
But no, like future, like Planet, any sort of fitness brand like that, I'm in.
Yeah,
and I'm hiring Wieden.
I one time got into
they'll do the whole thing.
I got into a just heated battle with the Chad Thistlethwaite at one of the gyms when I was in San Francisco, and we just went toe to toe. There's a little bit of a respect there between like your gym sales rep and yourself. Very similar to like buying a used car. Like you go in there, you know it's going to be a battle, but it's almost like two titans going at each other. Can't give an inch.
Yeah,
and then you walk away, you help each other up, and you're like respect. Let's get into the next part of the show, Gino. Who do we got next?
I got to compose myself here.
Yeah,
we got Leland Grossman and Sarah Davis. A two-person interview here. Sarah Davis is the founder of Fashionphile, Jack. It's a luxury resale brand, built a smart social system, one of the smarter ones in marketing today. How do we tee this up? Because we went to the shoot.
Yeah,
Cardi B.
So Leland Grossman is the director of strategy at Revery, who is the agency helping out here, and for Fashionphile, and the thing is, they let us go to the shoot. So they work with Cardi B, and then they also brought in a bunch of creators the next day to come and shoot content at the location with all the different bags, all the different things you can get on Fashionphile. Super interesting to see how it all gets made. And we made a video about it. And we're going to premiere that video right now. It's part of our Ads in the Wild series from the shoot. Let's play the video right now.
Welcome back to Ads in the Wild.
And, you know, maybe we don't have to narrate it again, Gino.
Quite
We may have
literally
just
in the wild. Ellie, you're about to get hit by a truck.
Oh, I'm Jack.
Fashionphile is doing a commercial shoot. Fashionphile is the ultra-luxury resale platform. We all know it. Today, they're leaning into
Pretty much we were there,
creators, Gino.
and
They got a bunch of creators that come here.
we're outside the
create their
studio
own
now, but then we
content,
went in and
no scripts, no
interviewed all
props,
the
and yesterday
creators.
they had Cardi B.
Here with Sarah Davis. I'm the founder of Fashionphile. We are an ultra luxury resale platform for accessories. We just thought, let's invite like a bunch of creators and just let them do their thing.
Come with me to try on what Cardi B would actually buy.
Friends, we're at Fashionphile today.
Guess who has a curated collection with Fashionphile?
It feels like it was a conscious decision to bring in as many different kinds of voices.
I think authenticity was a big piece of that. You might be a handbag fan, but the way you find Fashionphile might be through the content creator who talks and walks on the street with a microphone, and that's a more authentic way into the brand.
Who are we here with?
Hi, I'm Alexis.
What type of content do you create?
I primarily create beauty, lifestyle, and fashion content.
Is there any tricks or tips for content creators on getting noticed by brands?
I think the biggest method you want to adopt is just being yourself. Just be authentic, be you, and a brand is going to be attracted to it because there's only one you.
Pick that purse. You are going to pick a purse for Gino, and then you'll pick a purse for me. Hey!
Well, take all
let's
the
walk through
way.
this
This is
here.
really fitting. You see how this is working with him? There you go. There you go. I like this little picture for you. You see how he rocking that? Go ahead and wear that for us.
We're on set right now for Fashionphile. What brought you here today?
A longtime partner, longtime buyer. My bank account doesn't love Fashionphile as much, but things happen. And so I was invited today to come to see behind the scenes for this amazing shoot with the one and only Belle Khalees Cardi B.
Let's go.
Period.
In terms of it, when you're making content, how do you make sure that A, you're bringing energy for your audience all the time with all the things that you're doing? And then second part of that question, staying true to yourself and authentic for your audience.
So first of all, the biggest compliment I receive, y'all, is that I am very authentic. And so the way I am off camera and in real life is how I am on camera. And for me, that's high praise. And I stay high energy because I see myself as someone who is here to serve. I shepherd and facilitate an amazing community. So I give folks what they give me, and that's my responsibility.
Boom, here we go. Now we got them in right now. Leland Grossman and Sarah Davis. How are you both doing? Starting with Sarah, how's your day been?
Doing so good. Just got off a really long bike ride, feeling fresh, feeling ready to hit the day.
Leland, you have to one up that. Did you go on a really, really long bike ride?
Yeah, what's up, guys? Unfortunately, I just did some morning stretching, getting the day started here in LA, but yeah, maybe a bike ride tomorrow.
Perfect. Well, this is fantastic. We were obviously there at the shoot. We got to see it happen. And now I know the feeling of you make it and then you have to wait until it comes out. Sarah, for you, how does it feel? This is a pretty big moment for the brand, I think. And I just want to know how you and the team are feeling, knowing this is kind of a big pivotal moment.
I feel fantastic. And I have to say, like, you know, one of the things I think the best thing, what makes a really good founder is like finding really good people on your team, because I can take so little credit for this whole thing. I have an amazing team. And I guess my part in it is like finding amazing team members to help us to build this. They really, you know, when we thought about Cardi from the very beginning, you know, just from minute one, we like really couldn't afford her. We're like, we can't afford her, you know, like how can we afford her? And they found a way to make it work. And again, just how do you tell the Cardi story that's like so on brand with our story? And they just had exactly the right tone and exactly the right pitches. And I'm happy to be like a little voice on the team, but honestly, they're amazing, and credit to them.
So I'm curious, working with Revery, how did this all start? What was the initial marketing brief to the agency? Or was it just a conversation, an idea that you guys had in the back of your mind that helped like bring to life? Was there a formal process of like, we want more attention or awareness, or we want to convert sales? How did that come together?
I mean, yeah, we needed all the above. And honestly, we needed a great partner. And we definitely found that, really the perfect partner to help us to bring this all to life. We had a lot of ideas on our side, but really in, executing, needed a partner to do that and found the perfect team. So it's like amazing team plus amazing team equals smash it out of the park. So couldn't be more thrilled.
So then Leland, they had a good amount of ideas and no shortage of passion for what they're doing. How do you, on your side, receive this? What's going on in your brain when the first conversations with Sarah? Is this something that you were excited about, that you knew you can crush, or what was going on in the minds at Revery?
Yeah, great question. I think for us, first of all, Cardi B, how exciting. Yeah, air pound.
Yeah, gotcha.
Such an amazing talent, so authentic in her voice and her audience and how she connects with consumers and just fans in general. But I think there's a delta between celebrity endorsements and it feeling like it really connects with culture. And so that was sort of the brief we took from this is how do we take Cardi, who's amazing and is going to crush it pretty much no matter what she says, but do it in an authentic way that resonates with culture at large and makes people feel like, she's not just trying to sell them handbags. Like she really believes in this product. She really uses it. She does. And that energy really came to life on set. And I don't know if you guys saw the bloopers we put out, but I think that was the goal, was to humanize and make sure that the audience felt connected to her story through the brand.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. You could have stopped there with Cardi, but you didn't. The part to me that I feel like is going to be the thing that really gets people's attention and really expands this is the fact that you bring in all these creators, probably, I don't know how many, like a dozen to 20 creators to come in to the shoot location and just create their own content. Can we talk about that strategy? Because it wasn't like they all came in and they all made the same thing and it wasn't really scripted. So I want to hear about that, using creators now to amplify this project.
Yeah, and I think that's one thing that our team really was, we understand the value of, user-generated content and how you just can't get enough content and the value of like every different voice. Sometimes you can be like in a little echo chamber of one kind of voice with one audience and, our people who are talking about us every day, but we're really, and I feel like did a great job of getting so many different voices and really like all of the concentric circles, like none of them really, they cross over very little. So we got a lot of coverage from so many different audiences and in creators who have smaller audiences and then some with very, very large audiences, and all of them telling the story from their own perspective. And what's cool, and this is the vision, I think, as I talked to my team, and they're just had this idea of like, as you do this filming and allow them people to get creative and to tell their own story in their own way on our set with Cardi, it just really stretches out that campaign so much. Like we would have loved to have Cardi filming for days. She's hilarious. She's like her like outtakes, her intakes, like everything is just funny. She's organically just a hilarious human and like thoughtful. And like I said, it was all organic, was so good, but like she's a busy woman. We could hardly get her for, the time we could get her. We were just so grateful for every minute, but how do you stretch that campaign? And she's our ambassador for this season. Like, how do you fill all that, and make it really just feel like a full story? And I thought that was super creative. I was really grateful, I've never seen that before, honestly. We've only seen a tiny bit of the creative, that's coming out from that shoot. So I'm super thrilled about it.
Yeah, I almost get the feeling it's like you've created the Cardiverse. You've got it because of the fact that it was all shot in the same sort of location, because you're covering a bunch of different ground. It almost feels like there's going to potentially be that association to the Cardi work versus like sending stuff to influencers and having them do it in their apartments. So Leland, was that part of the strategy, like to bring the creators on site? And then maybe we can talk a little bit about the what kinds of creators in the strategy there.
Yeah, you really nailed it with that comment. The thinking was, how do we extend this? And it was so cool to hear Sarah speak to the strategy so holistically, because it is sort of new, right? Like the idea of working with influencers is certainly not, but thinking about how we take this idea that was, really tight to a few hours with Cardi on set and extend it through this authentic storytelling, because that's truly what Fashionphile is about. It's about authentic handbags and that connection to culture. And so we stretch it from people that literally came from Cardi's team. So folks that come from her universe, her followers, her super fans. One in particular was amazing, came with her own glam squad and photographer. It was actually Fat Joe's daughter, and just an amazing talent. So fun to have on set.
And
so
you
grateful.
guys, of course.
Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
and
No, yeah, no, that
you,
was
but you brought the energy, and I think that was kind of the hack in culture that a lot of brands should look at. Like, you invest all this time and money in the celebrity, and we're all scrolling so fast. We see it, it's a moment, maybe we laugh, we share with our friends, and it's over. And to Sarah's point, this idea of bringing them into the set, allowing them to play in the universe, literally get to, play with these tens of thousands of dollars of handbags, was kind of a pinch me moment, I think, for all of them to be on the same set that Cardi was, and then to be able to do their own thing, right? To literally have the brand say, we want you for what you do best, whether that's interviews or man on the street, or you guys had some great bits where they were trying on bags and you guys were picking your favorite. And I think that's what audiences feel resonates. It feels real because it is. And the second something becomes too scripted and the brief is so rigid, I think audiences are sensitive to that and it doesn't quite land.
yeah, of course.
I was going to say,
go ahead.
I could never do that. Like, from a founder perspective of like, let people come in and do whatever they want. And there's so much respect. As a micromanager, I am so much respect because, Sarah, this is your baby. Like, you've been working on this for years. To see these people say whatever they want, all nice things, of course, but like, they're kind of taking some of that narrative. How did that make you feel? Like, this probably is the first time you've done this.
I mean, absolutely the first time we've done this, but I just was kind of loving it because the set and everything is so Fashionphile. It's so clean and polished and elevated and just is so on brand for Fashionphile, even like the shapes and all that. And of course the bags, it's all very, very Fashionphile. And so I just I couldn't love more the perspective of every single person on our set. It just brought it all together. So I definitely felt like, because part of our mission is the idea that like what we sell is really for everyone. I believe genuinely that people should buy really great quality products and keep them for a long time. And if they're not using them, they should sell them. It's a better way to exist on the planet. And that means it's something for everyone. And sometimes we get thinking that it should be for a particular type of person. And so I love seeing like so many different voices. Again, there's, Gen Alpha, who's talking and really searching low to high on the Fashionphile website, all the way up to Cardi, who only wants like the very primo. And it's all authentic, one of the things that I love about Cardi is literally years and years ago, we were all like, my kids all of a sudden one morning, like, I get this text on my, phone from my kids and they're like, OMG, like screenshot of Cardi. And it's like, she got a bag from Offset and it was like, wait, is that the Fashionphile tags? Oh my gosh, there's a Fashionphile dust bag. It's like, it was, we hadn't planted that. We didn't know Cardi or Offset. Anybody knew we existed. And we're like, oh my gosh, as you're growing your own business, that fact that someone like that is using our services is so cool. So the idea that it's for everyone from the Cardi B to the Gen A, Gen Alpha and everybody in between, you guys, of course, now in our world, shopping the site.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. It's summertime. I gotta start thinking about my accessory game. It's
good with the Birkin Jack.
Thank you. I'm not in my bag when it comes to my bags.
Fire.
Not yet, at least.
Not
get your bag.
100%. My final question is around where do we go now with Fashionphile? Because you've accumulated or will accumulate a lot of attention. So I guess for Sarah, where do you think Fashionphile can be? What are the hopes and dreams for an already very successful brand?
My hopes and dreams is just that we're top of mind. And that's kind of what this is for, is that when you're thinking of a beautiful thing, that when, you're like, oh my gosh, I'm graduating from college, or it's my birthday, or it's Valentine's Day, and I want to get that special something, that we're just top of mind. We're the first place you look. When you're looking to sell your item or buy the thing, that we come to top of mind. And that's kind of the goal.
Love it. Gino, anything else from you?
No, I've learned a lot. I mean, thank you so much for having us on set. It was
cool. We've never gone to a commercial shoot before, so it was amazing to see how it gets made and the amount of people and energy.
It's surprising how much is behind it. Honestly, we had the right partners to help us to execute it. We're so grateful for that. But really, it took the whole village to get. You could see, like, it's shocking the amount of work that's happening back of scene, like behind the curtains. to speak.
Yeah.
To get these things off the ground. So super fun.
Well, appreciate you both, Leland Grossman and Sarah Davis, talking about the recent work for Fashionphile with Cardi B and a bunch of great creators, and then also us. Thank you both. Appreciate it. We'll have you on very soon to talk more.
Thanks.
Thanks, guys. Take care.
That was the crew. That was the crew. We're going to release that Ads in the Wild video, by the way.
Ooh, everybody that hopped on the live show got to see it a little bit earlier.
You got the premiere.
I don't know if they heard it.
Us
but...
at a shoot. Us at a shoot. You just sneak a little jab there.
I don't know if anybody heard it.
We narrated it, so that's pretty good. Backyard Sports Center says, Cardi B? Why not Cartier?
Cartier.
Yeah, they call me Cardi B.
Cartier
Run this
is
shit
a
like
brand.
Cardio. Cartier is a brand.
Yes.
Wow.
Did Backyard Sports Center plan that?
Was that
Backyard Sports Center is pretty funny, but not as funny as our next guest, Eric Coleman, founder and CCO of Eric and Coleman. It's a humor and advertising masterclass here. Buzzball and Taylor Farms work. The Buzzball work dropped this morning. I think I was the first one to talk
scoop
about
it?
I
Did you scoop it?
Yeah, I
We'll have to ask. We'll have to ask.
I'm going to look at the timing there.
Yeah, for
but
sure.
It's great work. It's slapstick. We got a streaker in the Buzzball work. But for now, let's bring him in.
Can we show
Oh,
it? Let's show it first.
Hold on,
let's show
Eric.
the
We're going to
Buzzball
show the
work.
work first. Let's see if we can hear it.
New limited edition Buzzballs are here for the big tournament. Nobody watching soccer is going to be mad about enjoying Buzzballs.
I'm mad about it. Used to be my balls was the talk of the tournament. Now I run across the field, no one even cares. Only balls they care about is buzz balls. Nobody cares about poor old streaking Steve anymore. Nobody. I'm mad!
Correction, nobody but that guy is going to be mad about having Buzzballs. Buzzballs.
There he is, Eric Coleman. Well, a couple morning, Joe. You're on the West Coast. It's 9 a.m. over there. How's it going?
I know it's a poor 9 is too early, but no, it's fine. We're doing good, guys. What's up?
Doing well. Where do we begin?
We want to talk about the work.
Yep.
Eric and Coleman, humor and advertising.
Well, maybe the first thing, did Gino scoop the Buzzballs work? Was he the first to put that out? Because it was on. He posted on LinkedIn this morning early.
Good question. I don't know. You guys are the media guys. I got up like 20 minutes ago. You know.
You guys keep talking. I'm gonna do a little.
Yeah. So Eric, let's talk about. Should we start with? I mean,
I didn't scoop it.
You did not scoop it. Okay. Well, the Taylor Farms work. First off, is I've seen a few different 15-second spots, and the reaction to them is like, wow, a real story gets told here in 15 seconds. Like, so much happened, but it felt like there was an actual story behind it. And it's just like very funny. So I want to start there, like making something that is meant to be 15 seconds, but also is entertaining is probably a more challenging thing. And I'd love to hear your perspective on that.
Yeah, that's a great question because what's happened recently is all the media has, it used to be mostly 30s and a couple 15 sprinkled in, and obviously it's so much more economic for the clients, and the money goes so much further with 15. So 15s have really become kind of commonplace and almost the default media, especially with CPG companies. So it's something we're really good at. We do really well. I especially have done it for a long time now. I feel like I got my head around it when I did Little Caesars. Those used to all be 15-second ads, and it was kind of good training. They used to have an end card pre-shot was showing the pizza footage and the price that was 6 seconds long, so we knew we had 9 seconds to tell a story.
Yep.
And we would be making 2 or 3 of these. It feels like every quarter. So that was kind of like, I don't know, 15-second boot camp. But something we're really good at as an agency is telling a story that does feel like a 30. And it's essentially a 12 within the 3-second end card, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, it's just you learn what's most important and leave it there and take out everything else, really.
And what he probably didn't say, but it's very clear to everybody, is like you're writing it for the amount of time that you have.
Right.
Where some
no cut downs.
Shoddier agencies might do cut downs. You guys don't do that. It's clear.
No, we write stuff real specific. I wish I could pull up and share now, like some 6s that we've even done that I think are, that are really, really strong. We write and make everything specific to the media. I think it makes the work a lot more lovable and breakthrough and noticeable and therefore effective. So yeah.
I want to ask about because we're getting a question in the chat about how did you cast for Steve? How did you find this person?
The vetting process.
Streaker Steve.
Yeah, Streaking Steve. Forgot about it. He's a 78-year-old guy from South London. I forget the name of the actor. Very nice dude. Really agile, I think, for 78. Looks great for 78. Yeah, he's an actor, working actor in LA, and has been for a long time. And he was definitely the right man for the part. We had this ad is airing, in the United States and Mexico and the UK and maybe other places. So he was definitely going to be our guy for the UK. We actually shot the ad twice. We had a second Streaking Steve actor, who was, I think, maybe pushing 100, and really, he was also a great option. But at the end of the day, when we're looking at the edits, Streaking Steve rose to the top. When you're doing casting for naked 80-year-old men on your laptop, and then your 9-year-old son has a bunch of friends over for the first time.
Oh yeah,
and they're by your computer. It can cause some moments,
It's a lesson, Eric. It's a
great lesson
of hard
children.
work. This is what your father does for a living. He's working hard, casting, looking at.
Hey, you want to enjoy hanging out with your little stupid snot-nosed friends? You got to accept the fact that your father will be
like the roof over your head. How
dudes.
about dinner tonight?
Yeah, how about dinner tonight?
How do you think that gets on your
Steve's
table?
coming. He's going to eat your food.
Getting stern when old naked men are on your screen in front of the boys wasn't the move, I turned into a jollier version of myself.
Oh, okay.
And it was a long explanation, but let's move on, guys. Enough of the personal world. Let's talk about business.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. Yeah, that's right. We gotta appreciate you bringing us back to center there, Eric. But for the agency, because it's you guys, I think feels like intentionally small. Like you want to be. Does that matter when it comes to making comedy? Do you think it's harder when you're in like a massive agency, more voices, to make something that's really funny?
No, I'm sorry. I got to say this sidebar after I bring it back to business. I'm sorry I was sick the day you guys came to visit.
Mm-hmm.
That was a huge bummer. I had the cool idea of riding the ferry in with you guys in the morning. I thought that would have been, great content.
Mm-hmm.
And then I got sick and I wasn't there. And the day that you came by the office, there were like 7 people there or something, and it was hilarious.
It was great.
So I think we're 40-something people between the two offices. Sorry, but anyways, getting back to your question, I don't think the size of the agency matters at all. I mean, the creative matter and the creative director matters, I'd say, and the clients always matter, and what they're the ultimate decision makers. But no, we're not. I wouldn't say we're intentionally small or anything. I would say that we don't carry extra weight just because, a bigger team doesn't lead to better work. That's for sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
I want to talk about the style for these two different campaigns here. It seems like you build advertising, Eric, and your agency builds advertising that wins in the living room of the homes across the world. Like if I see a spot like this in my living room with my family, with my friends, whoever it is, people are going to laugh or breathe a little bit more through their nose, chuckle a little bit, and that helps the brand. And then on I guess like what we cover a lot too is like the craft and the beauty of like some of this work and how film Anthem, poetry, and that wins in the award shows here. So talk to me about like your perspective on winning the living rooms and the homes across the world versus winning in like jury rooms.
Yeah, so it's a great question, and I'd say that's kind of the biggest thing in advertising that I don't think is being talked enough about anymore. I feel like most ads, in the creative world, stuff that you cover is made to win awards and made for a specific audience of juries. What we're really proud at our agency is we like to say most of our work, and I think it's true, had the halo effect. Like what you said about, the Taylor Farms, the target is mom. But when kids see that, they smile and laugh. When grandparents, they smile and laugh, and love the brand more. But yeah, we only make ads, for real people. I think our slogan on our website, we make work people love. I think that's my partner Steve's more positive way to twist what I always say is that we're the agency that makes ad people actually like.
Feel actually like those are two very different statements.
Both dads are terrible guys. Let's be honest.
Yeah, no, it's very fair. And like, I'll tell you one thing about the Taylor Farm. That protein one got me specifically. I was like, okay, I didn't know that. And you appealed to me on that one too.
When he pulls her fridge door off
so good.
and it explodes off.
Good gag.
It's a great gag.
It's a great gag. Do you, for those gags, I mean, do you all enter into a writer's room sort of feel where you're just like, what's like, if you have the premise? I guess my question is, what's the process like for creating the comedy?
Yeah,
gags?
it's far more boring than you would imagine. I wish it was what you described. It's two people sitting quietly in a room, staring at each other in the wall and thinking of ideas, and a week later bringing them to me to sit as equally silent and awkward in a room as we think about them. But one thing that I think is, I always teach our juniors is that, with TV spots, a lot of young writers write spots they could be radio spots. It's just dialogue. When you think, okay, I'm going to write a little story, it's what did this guy say? What did this lady say back? And you have a conversation. I think we're really good about using the visual aspect of TV. Let's see something happen. Let's see something that'll grab your attention if you're cooking in the kitchen and the TV's in the corner of your eye that you'll actually look at and stop and remember, right? So we like to use, visual storytelling, even in our dialogue stories, as much as possible to grab attention.
Yeah. It's hard to write in. Like, it takes time and experience. So, I mean,
what do you mean?
Like, to account for those visual cues when you're writing scripts out, like you have to build that in. Of course.
Yes, that's because that
you have to see.
We just heard. Who just told us about this? It was something that was like hard to imagine, but then once they saw it, the what's up ad, where the dialogue, it was hard to sell the idea until you actually saw it.
You read the script.
Because you just read the script and it was just like, what's up? And it's like, what's up back?
Exactly. And I think that's, presenting scripts is a big deal to clients and having them envision how it comes to life. It's funny, just because you got me thinking about Little Caesars before. Sometimes we would have to share scripts over email and the client didn't have time for us to present them. So I would make movies on my iPhone. And I would explain it, but then I would act it out. Like, do you know the cast one where the guy has a cast? And
Of course.
Like, there's video, we made videos of me being like, you know what I mean? And performing it. Same thing with, so that's why I imagine with the What's Up ad, I mean, it must have been, you would probably want to bring a couple extra funny people into the room to help present that and show how it jumps around the room. Like with we do a lot of ads with songs in them. And it's another thing where you have to, people, there's a lot of bad song ads, and I can always tell that they're probably scripts where people were like, so this is going to be a hilarious song in the style of an 80s rock ballad, and the lyrics will be, and they say it.
No.
And I just make the song and present the song's finished, if we're going to sell the spot or not, and the client here's the finished song, because that's almost like reading a script and say, and then at the end there'll be something hilarious that happens.
But you have to make it.
And you're like, really?
It'll be something hilarious.
Eric, I'm curious because a lot of it's getting in the right mood to be in a position to laugh. So I'm thinking about the CMOs, VPs of marketing. They're probably stressed out. They know that the creative ad agency meeting is coming. You start the meeting as the creative ad agency with these stressed out VPs of marketing, rightfully so. Is there anything that you do to just warm them up? Do you have an opener that comes in, warms the room before you
cold
present?
Open?
Yeah, you can't go in cold.
No, I mean, we don't. That is a good question. A lot of times, I'm most proud of is a lot of times after our meetings with clients, the clients say that was our the bright spot of our week, or the happiest, the best meeting, the one we were looking forward to the week, which is good. We tend to show a lot of creative executions. So I think that helps in the fact that it's not like, okay, here's one joke.
Here's
you know
the
what I
one.
mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's I like to show a lot of campaigns to clients. I know a lot of campaigns, agencies work hard and they get to 3 that they even think are showable, and they blow them out and they show 3. I'll come in with 6 or 7 sometimes. And I think it helps. Yeah, exactly. And I think it'll help for the kids, for the culture.
And you grew up, in ad land, I believe you and Craig Allen used to write hundreds of scripts at a time for.
Yeah. Well, we started and it was, it was different back then. You had way more time and there were way more people.
Yeah.
So there'd be a creative department of 11 teams, not much going on, and then the CDs come out and hold up a brief and say, we need 1 30-second spot for Skittles, best script wins, and you have 2 months,
Was Jerry Graff the person that came in with the brief?
Oh no, Scott and Ian.
Scott and Ian.
Tony and Reichenthal come in but I mean, yeah, I think we did when we left and went to Wyden. I think we counted on our last Skittles assignment, and I used to know the number off the top of my head, but it was something like 270 something scripts that were not just like jotted down ideas. Like if we presented it, we would have to like type it out proper and flush it out and have it work. Because CDs were meaner back then. They would like, one CD would like, we'd present a script and he'd take it and be like, hang on. And he'd hold it up. He goes, you want to take hundreds of thousands of dollars. You want to fly to LA. You want to do a month of work to make this and put it on TV. So that was pretty, that would happen.
Yeah.
Anyway, now you can do that.
The natural next question is like, so now, I mean, the people that are in your shoes when you back then, but now, it's much different. So how do you adjust for that, knowing that the timelines have only gotten shorter
you do the same thing, but like on a human level, right? Like I think I worked for probably like the who's who of terrible people, so I got all that experience. But now, as having my own agency, you do the same thing where you make them work hard and you make them write a lot of ideas. You take your time and go through them so they can understand what's better. When you're thinking of ideas, guys, like first writing scripts, it's like throwing darts at a dartboard. And your first 6 months, you don't even hit the dartboard with a dart. But then over time, your rounds get like this, tighter and tighter and tighter to the target, right? That's how it works. There's no like exact science to this. So, sorry, I forgot my point I was making, and I'm just going.
No, it's juniors, but juniors now with less time.
Yeah,
like how
it's like you want to work them hard, you want to push them, but you like do it in a humane way.
Right.
You know what I mean? You don't like be kind to them, give them a break.
And also,
let's not all, sometimes once in a while we have to work a weekend, but let's not, ruin our dinner plans or whatever it is. So you just do it in a nice way. And most of the good young people are self-motivated and they want to get good. You know what I mean? So they want to put in the work. So you just do all that. You mentor the healthy aspect of it.
Mm-hmm.
But, and then
I would imagine a good work environment will be more conducive to funnier ads, like better ads. And and if you're stressed out, I don't know how.
Yeah, but I mean, Eric, it sounds. I mean, obviously in the come up, it feels like it was a high stress situation. They're making some of the best work ever. So it's like it might be different for different people, though, too.
Yeah. I don't think putting that kind of negative pressure and stress on everyone was ever helpful. So I think we were able to
didn't really need it.
But it also wasn't like a hurdle to overcome. You know what I mean? It was just like. It's kind of like we're all going to work hard now separately. Let's not be dicks.
Yes, right. It's not like direct correlation. It's not like you need to be Herb Brooks out there making people run laps at 1 a.m. to be able to win the gold. That was a great analogy.
He's good.
I don't know that analogy, but he sounds like a driven man.
Herb Brooks, the head coach of the 1980 U.S. ice hockey team, Miracle on Ice head coach.
Fantastic.
Thank you, Eric.
That was fantastic analogy.
He's good. He's good.
Thanks.
I'll leave it with this because I think we talk about taste being so important, like in the era of AI, but also humor, comedy is so important too, because it's one thing that AI is still far away from encroaching on the human laughter and like what it takes to write a good joke, the timing, the things that you guys are doing. So I applaud you.
And then the last thing I'll say, in the LinkedIn chat, Sarah Johnson, creative director at Eric and Coleman, said, I don't know what it is in reference to, but she said, can attest to that. So I don't know what you said that she's attesting to, but
that's good.
Probably all the great positive points I made during this journey of our conversation, guys.
Attest to that as well.
And then Kate Hogan, associate director of new business at Eric and Coleman, said the best of the best in reference to you, Eric.
Great. Now, since we missed the interview when you came to my office, who's next on the show?
Oh, from the Eric and Coleman crew?
No, who's just next on your show that I should stay on for and you should boot?
Oh, no one. This is the last interview.
When do you wrap it up? What is the show on? Is it like on LinkedIn?
It's live on LinkedIn, X, and YouTube, and then we post it on YouTube, Apple, and Spotify after, and it lives there forever, like a normal podcast. And then we clip it up, post that, Instagram, LinkedIn. So
what's viewership like? I'm just curious.
Well, the live stream doesn't get a lot of people actually live because people have lives. People have jobs, believe it or not. But for us, the main thing is like we get to make the clips from it and we create that content, which gets seen by gets millions of impressions depending on the clip and throughout the course of like a month. But it's all the content coming from the live show. We repackage it and then spit it out, the best of the best moments with the biggest stories. And that's how we run the ship.
Wow. And remember when I was on the podcast?
Oh yeah,
many years ago.
Yes.
And that was just one of you talking. The other one of you wouldn't even talk. You were like hitting buttons, and you were just in a basement of like Energy BBDO. That's my default advertising agency name, Energy BBDO.
That's a great one.
That's a great one.
They got rid of that name.
Whenever on a pitch, because who you're who you're against in a pitch doesn't matter. And so whenever anyone in the agency asks, like, who are we going up against in this pitch? I was Energy BBDO, be careful.
That's awesome.
That's really funny.
Energy BBDO. Yeah, it's come a long way. It used to be just a podcast side project, and we went full time less than 2 years ago.
Amazing. Look at you guys. And then someone sent me a Wall Street Journal article. You guys got me into the Wall Street Journal.
Oh, of course. How could we not?
Look at that.
The fact that you were willing to come on the podcast all those days and months and years ago, that level of trust. Come on, you're part of the journey
early
too,
adopter.
Eric.
What about a doctor? You said something about a doctor?
You said adopter.
Oh, yeah. You guys both talked at once. You shouldn't do that. You've been doing this long enough now where you should take turns and kind of have signs, like to kick it around.
We got a lot of things to work on.
Yeah, we got a
lot of things.
Yeah, The View.
Watch The View. You could probably learn a lot from watching The View. Is that still on?
It is still on. It is. I see a clip from that every now and again. But you talk about staying the test of time. That longevity is incredible. That The View is the LeBron James of daytime talk show.
Wow. Ouch.
Hey, what? For who?
Who's the Jordan? Is that Regis and Kathy Lee?
No, I'm talking about like the longevity. Yeah, it's like the
and
longevity play though. The Jordan, I don't know. That's another question. You can't put me on the spot like that.
Donahue? You guys are too young for Donahue.
Don't know Donahue.
Sally, Jesse, Raphael, Jenny Jones. You remember Jenny Jones? Ricky Lake? Come on, guys. If you're gonna be huge media stars.
Listen, I can assure you we will not be.
We will not be huge media stars, Eric.
And where is this studio?
It's in New York. It's on Wall Street. Why are you asking so many questions?
Guys, I'm just a curious guy, dude. I have to feed my creativity at all times. Wall Street? Why are you on Wall Street?
People don't usually ask us questions, Eric, but we're on Wall Street. We got a deal because everybody wants to be in Midtown, and it seems like so. We're able to find a deal.
When we go public, it'll be an easy walk over to just ring the bell.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
You guys have done a great job with this interview. You've done a great job today. No matter what anyone says, no matter how lower that viewership gets, you guys are doing awesome.
Thanks, Eric.
Means a lot. Just get some good. I hope you have a great holiday weekend.
Thank you.
I hope you have me on the show again. Next time we have work come out, I'll send it right to you guys through the. I don't have your phone numbers. I have a conduit. Her name, the conduit. Her name is Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Karen.
Yes.
I can just go through. I'll have my people reach out to Elizabeth.
Of course. Perfect.
Our people will talk to your people.
Elizabeth also has a conduit that they will then have to talk to, but eventually give it about 7 to 8 business days and it should get to us.
If you want to be important, don't talk about the low-level details. Okay, guys, I'm just giving you a now from a successful agency owner.
Oh, Eric Coleman.
High level.
Eric Coleman, successful agency owner. Thank you so much for joining the show. It's been a pleasure. And this interview went on a few different routes that I did not expect, but it ended up being you interviewing us, which is always a pleasant surprise.
All right. Tune in to my podcast. Like and subscribe. Okay.
All right. That's Eric Coleman. Thanks for joining. We'll see you. We need
That was good.
we need an Eric Coleman power hour where
Yeah,
it's just him for an hour straight and we just go wherever it leads us. But that is one of the funniest people in advertising to make ads over the course of a career.
It's surgical. It's surgical to write a funny ad. It is surgical, and they're good at that.
I'm like the opposite because I am just like a volume shooter. So I will make 130 jokes and maybe 10 of them will land, whereas he will make 12 jokes and 10 of them will land.
Well, think about the media timeline. You have an hour and a half of media runtime. He's working on 12-second ads. So it's like you got to get one joke in.
Because I'm just going to clip that part anyways.
Yeah.
I'm just going to clip the funniest part.
Yeah.
That's like the cut down versus making for.
Yeah. It's the exact opposite, I would say.
What?
Like of what our style is versus his style.
Correct. We are
polar opposites.
Polar opposite.
Yeah.
Polar opposite. And he runs a successful agency, and so what does that mean about us? I don't know. That was the show.
It was a good show.
It was a great show. We had some great guests. If you missed it and you're just tuning in now, rewind. Wait for us to post this. Apple and Spotify. It's also going to be on YouTube. It's the Breaking and Entering news show. We talk about ads and marketing with the people that are making the stuff. We had a great show today. We had Kelsey Rice from Oscar Mayer talking about the Wienie 500 race 2.0. Jean Morrow, Group Creative Director at Coinbase, talking about their new ad playing during the NBA playoffs. Leland Grossman and Sarah Davis. Leland is from Revery, the agency. Sarah Davis is the founder and CCO of Fashionphile. They talked about their new campaign with Cardi B. And then also their creator strategy, because they brought in a bunch of creators for that. Very interesting, unique way in, if you want to check that out if you care. And then Eric Coleman, founder and CCO of Eric and Coleman, talking about humor in advertising, one of the most decorated comedic advertisers of his generation.
Great show. Great show. Great 2-minute drill. Great guests. How'd we do on the production side, team? Amazing. That's the show?
That's the show.
Post-show.
Post-show we'll get into now. Shout out to Rothmans, presented by Rothmans Menswear. Go check them out. Get yourself looking nice. Someone in the comments on LinkedIn said, ongoing series with Eric, please.
Yeah, he was good.
Agreed. He's much better at this than we are. This weekend, Gino, what do we got?
We are going to Savannah, Georgia to speak at Savannah College of Savannah. What is it? Savannah College of Art and Design, SCAD. For those that don't know, we're going to be speaking at like their advertising award show. We're going to be emceeing it. A lot of jokes, a lot of improv, a lot of mistakes will be made.
Yeah,
I'm going to wear my fish scale jacket.
Let's workshop something right now. I don't know what jokes I can make. It's going to be all reactionary. Because like I'm seeing you're like reacting to the people that gave the speeches and then you're introducing the next person. I'm going to do a little bit of crowd work.
I got to see who comes up, what they say. Do they do a speech?
Yeah, they'll do a speech. Because
that's it.
What I like about this, SCAD is doing it right. There's only 8 awards, I believe. So 8 people will come up and actually give a speech. The run of the show is like 90 minutes total.
Yeah.
Which is great.
Yeah.
And
clean.
Everyone comes up and gives a speech if you win, which I love.
And I'm gonna make jokes around the speech, around what I saw the work wise.
It's hard though, because you default to like trying to make fun of someone, but you don't want to do that when you win an award.
You revert it to us.
Yes.
Jack, you could have never made that.
Gino, you're such a fucking loser.
Yeah, stuff like that. That's how whether it's a student award show or like the Oscars, that's the same approach we would take.
But they roast, like the Oscars host kind of roasts the audience a little bit and makes fun of them. But you can't do that for this. It's like students winning awards. I can't be like, yeah, it's much different when you're punching up at like celebrities.
Of course.
So it'll be fun. I've never been to Savannah, Georgia, if anyone has any recommendations, but I'm excited to be down there, down south. A lot of like the cool old buildings I think I'm excited for.
Beware, it's haunted.
Savannah?
Super haunted.
Yeah, you've been bringing that up. Is that a concern for you?
Yes, big time. I'm gonna bring one of those like little radio trackers, like where it like plays noise when you hear a ghost.
Ghost Adventures.
It's like help,
dude. That show was so good. Ghost Adventures. It's like where it's like dark and they got the night vision camera and he's like,
so good.
If you can hear us, say something. And he's like the guy that wears the super tight Affliction shirt.
Yeah.
Oh, so sick.
Yeah, I'm probably the Affliction shirt should help. I think the ghosts are scared of that.
Ross, are you doing anything this weekend you want us to relay to the people?
Yeah.
Gee,
the audience used to look forward to the
people used
the
to want the
post-show.
Ross updates.
The Ross?
There used to be a little bit more juice for the Ross updates.
It's okay
It's a
if he
little
wants to
quiet.
be private in his private life.
This guy asked about the shorts policy yesterday.
Oh yeah.
He texted. I mean, we're in the same office.
Yeah, I didn't read it.
Texted and said, "What's the shorts policy at Breaking and Entering? It's getting hot right now, and I want to know if I can wear shorts." Never responded. I just
didn't
posted
respond.
about it.
I saw the first line. I thought he was talking about YouTube Shorts, and then I stopped reading because I would have figured that would have been your domain. But then I saw the LinkedIn post, and it said that it was talking about actual shorts, and I started laughing.
Just can't help. I mean, Ross is a content machine. This guy, yeah, content machine. Had a couple good sound effects today. I think there's a couple explosions that were well timed. But that's all we got. We won't hold you guys any longer. We'll give you back a few minutes. Let's give everyone a few minutes back. But enjoy the rest of your days. We're back on Tuesday, the Breaking and Entering show, marketing news, talking about it, presented by Rothmans. This weekend, go get yourself a suit at Rothmans in New York City, menswear. Get yourself feeling good. We'll be back on Tuesday on LinkedIn, X, and YouTube at 11 a.m. Eastern Time, and we'll post all of it on Apple, Spotify, and YouTube, and you'll see the clips. Follow us on Instagram and LinkedIn. Breaking and Entering, advertising and marketing news you need to know.
And deserve.
And deserve. We'll catch you next week. See ya.